nerdy reviews. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Now, I'm not entirely done, guys. I do want to talk about a couple of things here, but Gundam X was not that bad of a series. In fact, it was a fantastic and fun watch. I wish I could keep going on and watching the next series. I think I'm going to be starting up with Gundam 00. What's that sound? Oh, God. No, I want to watch Gundam X, not this. Please, God, don't make me watch this, guys. Oh, lordy. Sorry, I gotta do something cheesy there again, just like I did in the G Gundam review. But yes, what I have here, folks, is the Gundam Seed series, as requested by family and friends who want to torture me. That being said, I just want to give a quick preface on my hatred for this series, so you guys have a little bit of a story here. Something to sit on, and then I'll definitely retell it, maybe shorter, next Saturday. But I have an absolute awful experience watching Gundam Seed, period. How do I start this? So when this series came out, this came out in like 2002, if I remember correctly, and I was still new to the internet at that point. I got into the internet world by 2001. And at the time, I remember I was like, coming fresh from Toonami, right? Gundam Wing, Gundam, 8th MS Team, Gundam 0080, G Gundam, all those series, right? And then we come across Gundam Seed being released in Japan, and I'm like, oh my god, cool. And then I hear all over like Gundam forums and everyone who talks about anime and they like Gundam, they'll always keep praising Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed. It's so amazing, so awesome. The best Gundam series there ever is. It beats out the original Gundam. Fantastic Gundam series. No other Gundam series compares to it. Let me preface something here for you folks. I'm immune to a lot of things when it comes to films and TV series. I'm immune to, mostly primarily to spoilers. Spoilers has no impact to me whatsoever, unless it's a critical kind of a spoiler where it's like, I'm the kind of person that enjoys the journey, not the end. So I enjoy the journey of watching a movie. I enjoy the journey of a series. That's why when I watch Gundam, I enjoy getting into the characters, like liking the characters. I really do get behind that more so because that's what drives the series for me, at least. Not saying the action does or anything like that, but I really do enjoy like getting to be familiar with our characters and liking our characters because I like to know more about them and see how they react to these situations and how how it changes them or everybody else and how it impacts. I like that sort of stuff. But spoilers has no impact to me. So if you tell me some character is going to die or this character doesn't live and I'm just starting the series, good luck. You didn't spoil anything for me, but I can guarantee spoil a lot of things for you and it's not going to have any impact to me whatsoever. But what does impact me though is hype. I can't survive against hype. And when I hear hype about a lot of things, I generally come into watching a movie or a series and I get very, very disappointed. Oftentimes, I would say like 7 out of 10 times when something is really, really hyped up for me, it tends to be a letdown. That's why I try to keep myself away from hype as much as possible and just keep it the general stuff like, oh, this is a good series. It's a good series. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll give it a shot. I'll jump into it. Oh man, this is a good movie. Okay, cool. I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it for you. That sort of thing. When Gundam Seed came out, it was really, really hyped up as the grand masterpiece of the entire Gundam franchise. Unfortunate for me, even though it did air in Toonami, I think 2 years later, when the series had ended, it came out, right? It got released on a format. This is not my first foray with Gundam Seed. I mean, purchase-wise. A long time ago, and my foray into bootlegs, because I did not know what bootlegs were. I was I would say I'm a child, but I'm not a child at that point. I'm just a naive teenager, right? Sorry. I had no idea what a bootleg was, but I saw my favorite game shop. They had a bunch of anime. I bought some anime from them before, and then they had some Gundam series. So it's funny enough, I actually have 2 of the bootleg Gundam series that I bought from them because I couldn't find those forever until they got re-released on DVD and then re-released on Blu-ray by Right Stuff. But and that was 8th MS Team and Gundam 0083 if you guys are curious. But they had a box set of Gundam Seed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the newest Gundam series. I gotta get this. It's $80. This is was I 14 at the time? I think I'm 15 at that point. I can't remember. And I'm like, do I buy this or not? Do I sacrifice buying a new PS2 game or do I get this? I've sunk in and I bought it. The Blu-ray or DVD, the bootlegs I had bought in the past didn't disappoint me, and I didn't know. I thought they were actually legit, and so I found out they were bootlegs because then I learned that, oh wow, so you know the different companies were actually selling them. I'm like, wait a second, how come they were different than the ones I bought? Like it looks so different. Like this doesn't say Viz, this doesn't say Bandai, this doesn't say Funimation on them. Like, and then learning online. Anyways, that's my experience with bootlegs. Yeah, I was a dumb teen, so a dumb teen trying to learn and get along with the internet, right? I got the bootlegs of Sea Destiny. I watched that with absolute glee, only to be dismayed. It was fan subbed, I believe. I feel like it was fan subbed because it was atrocious. I could not understand for the life of me what I was reading for the most part or what was going on with the plot line. I think I can find a picture of her. There, I saw a picture of her right here, but this is a better picture. So, for an example, those of you who watch Seed or you're a seedling, you know who Lacus Klein is. I knew her as Crisscross. Yes, that's how bad that subbing was. I knew her as Crisscross. Kyra was another one. And Athon, I think was the other one, or for Athon and Kyra. Kaguri, it was spelled out like they were trying to enunciate the Japanese, and it was like, okay, that's an example of the names I had remembered. Basically, they were really, really bad. So I was confused, not understanding the series, and I was confused. I wanted to know what was going on. Why did people praise this series so much? I mean, the action looked kind of cool, but I couldn't really understand the plot line or anything like that because it was so crazy. I kind of got an idea between coordinators and naturals, but I just didn't get a whole lot. So I ended up watching no, not watching, I'm sorry. I ended up going to the Gundam forums on GameFAQs. that's an oldie, right? If some of you are aware. And I went to the Gundam forum and I tried to ask for help to like, hey, could someone tell me what was going on with, and this is me, like, I don't know what I watched, right? I don't know the difference between fan subs or bootleg or anything like that. I'm just a dumb teen that's barely even getting experience with the internet. And I just faced ridicule and mockery for the most part. Like, who's Chris Cross? Or you know, the girl, the she's the singer. She has pink hair and that little thing in her hair. You mean Lacus Klein? Who's Lacus? The girl you're talking about. Are you stupid? And I'm like, I remember that experience online, like remembering that it stuck with my memory for a long time. So it left Seed with a bitter taste in my mouth. I'm like, I was trying to get an understanding what was going on with the plot. They were like making fun of me, saying like I'm stupid and an idiot because I couldn't figure out what the plot was. Like even a basic fight, I'm like, yeah, but like the subs that I was reading, that's what they called these characters. A lot of what they were talking about or trying to talk about the plot didn't make much sense, and it was the worst experience I've ever had with subs ever. And that's one, like, those are the few times I would ever agree with people who are like subs only, and I will bash subs only. I mean, like, I've seen good fan subs, like anyone who's watched One Piece back in the day to now, you know, a good fan sub. Absolutely. But then there are bad ones out there too. And unfortunately, I happened to run across a bad one that really, really gave me a bad experience. So that was my first foray with Seed. That wasn't my only one. I was really, really pissed off. I get pissed off at a lot of seedlings. And I had a bad experience with watching the series overall. A few years later, Bandai, before they got defunct, in America at least, released this from as Anime Legends, the whole box set, both of them. I quickly grabbed these two back up because I was in the process of grabbing Destiny at the time. And I gave this a second go. I also gave the movies a second go too. Or not a second go, but first go. And I had watched it and it made more sense to me. However, from what I remember more than a decade ago, I didn't like the English voice acting that everyone kept praising so much. Like, so this was years later, of course, so it had already aired on Toonami. I didn't watch it on Toonami at that point. And a lot of people were praising it, saying like, "Oh, it's got the best voice acting ever. It's got the best story." Still, I'm like, okay, I can finally watch this now. And I can finally get myself behind it. I had just finished watching Gundam, the original Gundam, once and for all. For those of you who watched Toonami back then, back when it was released in 2001, you might remember something that had happened in 2001. A day I would say will live in infamy for us in the current generation. Be you millennial or boomer or Gen X, I don't care what generation you are, but any of those three generations, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, 9/11 comes into play, right? When 9/11 happened, Toonami pulled the original Mobile Suit Gundam off air. They got up to the Solomon arc, and we were almost done with the series, and they pulled that entire series and they canceled it. So I lost my opportunity to watch it. They tried to show it again on Adult Swim, and due to poor ratings, they pulled it again. Never finished it at that point. So it was left up to me to find the original DVDs that were released. I found them all, and I had watched them all. Okay, to give you a preface. So after watching them all, and I had gotten my hands on Seed. I apologize, I'm gonna put it right here. Got my hands on Seed. I started to notice a lot of similarities, and now like I have the English voice acting, the plot makes sense to me, I understand what's going on in the story, and I'm like, how come there are a lot of elements that are copying the original Gundam? Why are a lot of people praising this as an original masterpiece or something absolutely great? Stupid young me, I decided to go back to the internet, back to the forums, back to the cesspool of various forums, some that I will mention. And I go, wow, I remember a lot of people were saying that Gundam Seed was a masterpiece. It is absolute garbage. In fact, it rips off of everything that is Gundam, the original Gundam. Why is this a masterpiece? And I had countless of seedlings argue against me. I think some of them had the audacity. I swear to God, I can't tell if it was a troll. I'm pretty sure it was trolling, but I couldn't tell what trolling was back then. I didn't understand that. But someone said, like, well, you know, Gundam ripped off Seed or whatnot. Seed is original. And I'm like, either you're stupid, you never watched the original Gundam, or you must be messing with me. I didn't understand what trolling was back then. Still young, still naive, still stupid about the internet and many other things. So after that, I was convinced that Seed was absolute garbage. That is how it has been since then. I have not revisited Seed since the last time I watched this and the special edition movies. I kind of watched them side by side, kind of. I watched this as this was being released. So I got my hands on the first one, and I think the following month the second one came out, and then the following month the third one came out. I got this one, and then I think 2 months or a month later the second one came out, and I grabbed them both and watched them both at the same time. Sorry. Now, that was my experience with Seed, and a few years later, the Gundam franchise decides to revisit the Seed universe again with Destiny. And I thought, oh man, you know, maybe Seed was a mistake and Destiny will be better, because everyone keeps saying that Seed is amazing, Seed is awesome, Seed is so cool, it is the best sequel that follows up to Seed. Why did I not listen to common sense? Oh wait, I'm a stupid young person. That's right. Silly me. Why didn't I think that it was logical? Actually, I'm trying to think about how old I was. I was not even a teen. I think I was 18 18 plus, 18, 19 when Destiny came out. So I wasn't even a teenager. I was a young adult. Young adult. And my experience with Destiny was different from Seed because I grabbed it in this DVD format. In fact, I actually have the special collector's edition, like this huge collapsible, two separate collapsibles for the entire Seed Destiny series. If I'm not mistaken, it's 12 volumes, and I don't think it had a place for the final plus, which is the final episode that concludes everything. When I had watched Seed Destiny, I had watched it as it was coming out. Now, I don't tell you guys this, and it's just out of personal. I don't really watch TV shows anymore because I don't like. I don't mind waiting a day for something to come out. I mind when it comes out a week later or a month later or more than that, right? So when I watch a series, I want to watch the whole thing in its completion. I want to binge it. I was binging anime before it became a thing with Netflix. That's how I was watching my anime. Be it from my friends that would give me their anime collections, or I would find downloads or whatnot back in the day. Yeah. Or find websites like for One Piece and stuff like that. Although One Piece was an example of a bad example, but it's where I watch episodically. So yeah, that's something else. But Seed, it's kind of weird because I could do this with comic books, but I couldn't do it with anime. And Seed, I think they were coming out. I remember Bandai was releasing a volume every month or every other month. I think towards the end they kind of skipped and they foobarred some of the release stuff. And I barely caught some of the windows to get them because I had a couple of the special edition stuff. I had the collector stuff. I was trying, I'm a good fanboy, right? I try to collect everything I can collect. So I watched this, I say episodically, I don't think that's the correct terminology for this, but I watched this as it was releasing every month. And my memory was like a goldfish because I was going through college. I was doing a bunch of other stuff. I was doing film stuff. And so I didn't go back and rewatch episodes. I would buy a volume and I would watch the volume and then put it on the shelf, set it and forget it, right? And my experience with Seed Destiny was like it was very disjointed, and then I complained about Seed having a lot of stock footage. Destiny, if I remember, I think Destiny probably had more stock footage than Seed because I keep blurring the two together. But it was a stock footagey mess. I mean, like, I enjoy my action with my mech, but I don't enjoy stock footage animation. It's like, why am I wanting to watch the same rehash stuff? I want to watch something new, right? The story didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. A lot of the ordeals. I remember there was some actual in production drama between, I think his name is Fukuda. Let me see if I can find his name here. Mitsuo Fukuda, the director. He was the director of the Seed series, and he's the director of this. I believe his wife was one of the writers here. Fun fact, and I'll probably bring this fact up again when I. Oh, this came on. Oh no, I can't remember when the DVDs were released. It says 2004 to 2006. I'm pretty sure the DVDs got released much later than that, or that time frame at least. But I remember hearing about the wife, like Fukuda cheated on his wife or something like that, and caused in-house drama. And one of Fukuda's favorite characters was Kagali, and the way that she was written in this series, she was terribly written, was because the wife was writing her spitefully against her husband and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird, and I feel like in-house drama caused this series to fail too. But either way, it was stock footagey mess, a really weird, lazy story, which also copied from Zeta Gundam, just like how Seed copied from the original Gundam. This copy is Zeta Gundam. Very much kind of like Titans versus Aug, and copying the 4 storyline with Stella and Shin. By the way, I hate Shin. He is the worst version of Shinji. I think that's why he has a double N to his name, right? Instead of Shin, instead of Shinji, it's Shin. And There's nothing new about this kid. The only thing that's new about him is that he's a whiny, angsty kid that was super frustrating and didn't really develop as a character at all. Sorry guys. Anyways, continuing again with story time. But yeah, that was my experiences with Destiny. I had finished all of it too, from beginning to end. I didn't like it a whole lot. Now, First and Then was a lot more tech savvy and a lot more net savvy at that point. And lo and behold, I hear a lot of people kept praising about Destiny at the time. There were some people just like myself though, goes like, you guys are crazy because Seed is a mess. Let me tell it to you. And that's basically it. Then became the flame wars on forums between Seedlings and everybody else in the Gundam franchise. At that point, it would have been UC elitists, wingers, and just traditional like fans of the series of the franchise. Didn't have to mean like you were factional. My God, there's a war within the factions in the Gundam fandom. Interesting, right? But that was my experiences with Seed and Seed Destiny. I have honestly not watched any of these series for over a decade. So I'm finding it kind of interesting to, as my wife puts it, and a couple of my friends puts it too, you need to rewatch it and have a better opinion about it, because what you have is more, and I don't disagree with them, it's more of a personal bias than anything else. And both viewings were very skewed, right? Where I had watched Seed originally as a blob of fan sub mess, and even though I watched it a second time, I was very jaded when I watched the second time around. And when I was critiquing stuff back at that point in my life, I was very overtly critical and not positive, or not trying to find positivity, but like I was overtly critical and I was being spiteful as a critic, right? Because of my jaded experience. That's not how you critique things. That's how you should critique things at all, by the way. You should look things, again, with a unfiltered view and absorb the information despite how you feel about it, right? Or despite the politics around this thing, or what it represents, or how offensive it could be, or whatnot. You got to open your mind and review things or critique things in a much streamlined way, right? That's why I don't trust a lot of critics at this point. Either they're bought out, sold out, or that they're jaded people. They don't like certain things. They're not willing to give it a try. I hate musicals. But if someone wants me to review a musical, I would go like, hey, okay, let me go ahead and review that musical, and I'll give it my best unbiased view. And I have. And not to say that I don't hate all musicals. I mean, I love Little Shop of Horrors. Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd. I think it's Tim Burton, right? Or at least, the one with Johnny Depp and Helen Bonham Carter. I love that. Love that movie. It's great. Fantastical musical. I can even throw in something like what did I just see recently, musical wise? My wife and my friend got me to watch Moulin Rouge for the first time, and I'm like, that's a pretty good movie. Again, I'm still not a huge fan of musicals. They're not going to turn me a whole new leaf, but I enjoyed it, and I can critique it utilizing that critical aspect of film analysis or show analysis, right? The same way I look at the Gundam series. So, spoilers, not spoilers, I did finish Gundam Seed already, so I'm not going to tell you anything I think about it right now. I'm saving that for next week. But I will promise you, absolutely promise you, I'm reviewing this with an unbiased lens. Even though I do still hold bias towards it, I have bitter memories, I am not giving you a jaded view. I promise you. So, what do you guys think that I'm going to say about this? Do you think I'm going to talk trash about this still? Do you think that I'm going to praise it? Do you think I'm going to completely change my ways? Do you think I'm not going to change my ways? I want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. be dead serious, I was not looking forward to watching this, but then again, I was not looking forward to watching a few other Gundam stuff, such as G Savior and ZZ Gundam. I still watch those, just like I watch Seed. And I am going to be moving forward this week to watch the movies and Destiny. Some of you might go like, well, Briston, if you're watching Destiny, why don't you review the movies too? Not that I don't have time. I only have 2 of the 4 movies. They're actually hard to track down. I probably could track them down for extra money, but I'm not shelling out any more money on Gundam at this point here, because I have almost everything on Blu-ray at this point. So if I was gonna buy any more of the Gundam Seed stuff, I would definitely basically purchase the collector's editions. The thing is that I want to review things in the chrono. At this point, with UC Century done, I'm reviewing all AU, but I'm kind of following the timeline of when they were actually released. Since you don't need to follow AU in any specific timeline or like order like Gundam, like the UC Century is. So I thought this would be perfect because literally I just finished up the 90s Gundam block with Gundam X. It would only make sense that I jump to the one that's chronologically ordered, which is Gundam Seed, rather than jumping to 00. As much as I hate Seed, my wife and my friends are right about this. You need to shake off that jaded anger and really come at this at a fresh perspective and give it your true critique, not a jaded, angry, biased critique. And I'm like, okay. It's like for you guys, but at the same time for myself, because when I had that conversation with them, I was like, yeah, you guys are right. It's not that I don't have a problem saying I'm wrong or anything like that, but like it is wrong of me to so harshly and so brutally critique it. Like, of course, I'm not cussing right now because I want this on YouTube. I want you guys to be able to watch it. I am a fantastic sailor, so I had some very colorful words to talk about Seed and Seed Destiny. So, all in all, they're not wrong, and I'm not entirely wrong either, because I'm right in feeling the ways I had felt about, my jaded experience and, the viewings I had. But you know what? It's been over 10 years. I have different ways of analyzing stuff at this point and breaking down the things. And I'm pretty sure back then I wasn't picking up on subtle nuances or smaller things between the 2 series. And as my wife would put it to me, if you're that much of a critique, Briston, I think it'd be a perfect opportunity for you to give it a second chance and see it from your current lens right now. And I go like, honey, you're right. And a couple of my other friends were telling me the exact same thing. I'm like, you know what? You guys are right. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and give Seed a shot. Dug up Seed and started watching. So yeah, next week, I'm going to double whammy. I say double whammy. I don't want to say triple because I count the Seed movies with Seed itself. So we're going to do Seed Special Edition movies, Seed Destiny. But yeah. Besides, I don't know about dropping $225. My wife looked at me like, you hate this series, yet you question how you want to critique it, but you want to buy this series that you hate for $225. What's wrong with you? I hate myself. No. I'm a fan, right? Sorry. You gotta take the bad with the good. And I don't know. Part of me is just like I wanna upgrade my entire collection because I do have a lot of the DVDs. Some of them I didn't even have because I actually did buy Right Stuff's DVD versions of this and Turn A, and then when they released it on Blu-ray, I bought them on Blu-ray because I want the Blu-ray collection. Actually, it's just because the Blu-rays are so much smaller and easier to store compared to DVDs. Especially when some of my DVDs, I don't have them in a box set like this. In fact, I have like the original Mobile Suit Gundam in all its volume format, so like the actual singular DVDs. Um, Same thing with Zeta Gundam. I was looking up what some of the series I got from like in the Anime Legends format, so they were in the box set. So it's kind of cattywampus and whatnot. So I got doubles basically, so that's fine. Uh, I ran a little bit on my stream here. I know I keep rambling, but I just enjoy the talk. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. And I'm actually gonna close it this time. So being dead serious, but I'm looking forward to fully reviewing Seed and giving it a very fair, unbiased review. Just like I've been doing with the entire Gundam franchise thus far, I've been reviewing everything, taking off any nostalgia goggles, any factors or whatnot. I think some people are gonna say, like, if I ever hear comments like, "Oh well, you were so nostalgic for Gundam Wing, you probably gave it a 5 out of 5 or something like that because you were nostalgic." And I'm like, it's not really that. I took off the nostalgia goggles because I've watched the series dozens of times and I reanalyze it, and it's like one of those series I keep coming back to, and I'm like, I really, really enjoy it, and I keep picking up something new. And that's something unique about a movie or a series, is that you keep coming back to it, and you find something new about it. And not just finding news about it because you read a trivia about it or you looked it up, but you're looking at it at a different perspective, or you're seeing it from a different viewpoint, or you're analyzing a different character in a set way. So you could do that with some series and some movies, and sometimes you can't do it at all. So, hey, I try to do the exact same thing with like G Savior and ZZ Gundam. Please don't even get me started on that. God Almighty, it's terrible. Anyways, seriously though, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, follow me on my Twitch channel. If you're watching this on YouTube. Sorry again, guys. Watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below. What did you think about my story time about Seed? Did you have a similar experience that I have? Do you really, really like Seed? Were you a Seedling in the sense that you came to the Gundam franchise because of Seed? Were you that second wave of Gundam fans? Do you think I'm wrong? What do you think overall? I mean, I want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. I apologize, I got a dry throat. I hope you guys got some fun and some laughs. And I'm gonna try and start doing this little thing, but you know, at the end here, I just want to leave you guys with a little word of positivity, right? Because the world is a mess itself, and it can be very harsh and cruel and mean. You are your own worst enemy, and if you can defeat that, I promise you, you'll go far in life. So, I just want to leave you guys with that. Take care, love yourselves, don't give in to the negativity, keep being positive and being strong within yourself. And if that's really, really hard to say, then you know what? Don't believe in yourself, believe in me who believes in you. Because we all have the capability of success. We just gotta believe in ourselves. If not, someone else can believe in us. And I got you guys. Anyways, that's it from here. I am the absolute nerd. You can call me Briston. But again, thanks for watching this live stream, or nerdy live stream reviews. Until the next week, I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you on the next review. Until then, take care.